Welcome back to the Cube. We made autumn on the last episode, but today we're making a freezing winter. It's cold. This chunk of foam will be the frozen lake. Let's add a shore and the rocky base of a mountain. I can block that out pretty quickly with polymer clay. It's pretty rough, but alcohol will smooth it all out. Blast that with a heat gun real quick. Just enough to remove the foam. Some foil filler. Now I can sculpt under the freezing water. I'm using a different color because I need these to be two separate pieces, one above the ice sheet and one below. More hot air. I've got a steady supply. And now we can thoroughly bake these all the way through. And now some paint. But you can hardly call these colors. It's all gray. I mixed in a little modeling paste to fill these gaps. After cool gray, I'm mixing it up a little with a dark gray, but only in the shadows. And a little Sculptamold to round out this corner. Shifting gears here to the star of the show, Pachyrhinosaurus. Here's how it's looking so far. I did this all off camera. This ridge over here is the head, tail over here. Obviously it doesn't have legs yet, but this is the back. And I'm just gonna keep refining these shapes until it's finished. The legs can attach here, sold separately. This is one of my oldest texture stamps. Now I'm using floral wire with super glue and baking soda. Instant bond. One of the best tricks. A trick straight out of the sleeve. The head's gonna be tricky, so we'll need as much support as we can get. Keep up the good work. He's gonna be up like this with his head above water, taking a deep breath. When the leg is this small, you can sculpt the muscle with just a pinch. I'm bringing in the heat gun to lock this in because I don't want to touch it and mess it up. This also gives me a solid surface to add onto. Now we can finish the head. I'm using this ball tip stylus to basically draw on the features. Instead of horns, these guys have a pair of orbital bosses and one big nasal boss. Open the mouth here. He's shocked by the freezing temperature of the water. This is the top of the beak. This is going to be the eye and the lids. Man, these frill horns are small. It's like the spikes on a little bug. The Leucostae genus has these 3 horns right down the middle of the frill, so I'm gonna slice this into 3 horns. Here he is, folks. On the small side for sure, but we like that. I think he's earned some color. But finding the right colors is tricky. I want to reference a large animal, but all the cold climate ones are brown. And I don't want it to look like a mammal. I also need something that isn't recognizable. And then I saw it, galloping in like an ugly unicorn. A wildebeest. I didn't even know there were silver wildebeests. These cool colors should fit right in the snowy environment. The legs fade into purple and reddish brown, with dark brown feet. The wildebeest has a wispy wheat beard, so I'm pulling that color onto the throat. The front of the face is a dark black, so I'll use that for the boss beak and horns. I only sculpted a couple frill horns, but we can fake the rest with paint. Paint them on like eyebrows. Speaking of brows and their eyes, these will be getting the honey mustard treatment. And a very small pupil, from this hand-sharpened toothpick. Now for some stripes. Thankfully, this is a pretty easy pattern to do. just one stripe after the other, each hardly straying from the last. Now the horns aren't exactly black, they're kinda crusty, so I'm dry brushing those. And the stripes aren't solid brown, they actually get lighter towards the top. And here he is. I like how those colors turned out. Now for the frozen yet flexible ice. This is a 1mm thick sheet of acrylic. Score, some more, and snap. And here's the pristine lake. Now that I've glued that back together, I can fit... Oh. 1 second here. There we go. He's got his foothold in a foothole. We need to add some rocks here. This kind of looks like fish food, but it's all gonna get painted. It's all gonna be gray. Now this is the ice that broke out from under him. I'm gluing these directly to the Pachyrhino to look like it's sinking and floating. I'm using a thicker gel super glue. Just gluing it anywhere it'll stick. Glue some on there. Look at that. And gotta paint these rocks black. Before we move on, I'm happy to thank the sponsor of this video, JLC 3DP. The time before last, we got these super cool stainless steel prints. Solid metal. Such a cool technology. But they don't just print metal. They can print in full color, including transparency. Something I'm working on, not finalized yet. And the detail on the metal prints is so good. They have affordable pricing starting at 30 cents, with up to $70 in new user coupons. Just upload your file and get an instant quote with real-time tracking. Go to the website and get access to those crazy printers they have. Okay, if we zoom in here, I've got just a strip of a stripe of paper. These will be little fish. At least I hope so. I'm dousing them in gold paint. Get some stripes on there, because these are perch. They frequent the ice holes. Little orange, little black. Glue that on here. A perch on a perch. How about that? And I'm sealing these with a clear coat to protect them from resin. These are going to be scattering from the splash of the big fella. I'm adding a touch of UV resin to reinforce these stands, because the heat from the epoxy could cause the plastic I bent to straighten out. Now it looks like an aquarium. This is a temporary retaining wall to contain the resin. Speaking of resin, this color is a real conundrum. How do I make it blue without making it blue? After experimenting, I figured out the key is a drop of black. Who knew? I mean, one of you probably knew. Didn't tell me. Ooh, it already looks cold. My vacuum chamber's going a little overboard. That's enough bubbles. Now I just gotta pour this in here without getting it all over the Pachyrhino. I got a little in his mouth. Ooh, but the color's perfect. And you can see the ice in the fish. I'm glad this turned out. I think the super glue on the ice made it stand out more. Now I can add some floating chunks. Ooh, bad thing happened. I got this super glue smear. What a mess. I'm gonna try acetone. This could fog up the epoxy, but it didn't. Nice. That was close. Some acrylic gloss. And we've got waves. Now we need a background. A winter wonderland, if you will. I am not a painter, but it's just mountains and clouds. Child's play. I shan't even break a sweat. These are too warm, so a little uniform blue to chill it up. Chill it down. Now we can add the highlights. and some snowy highlights. These highlights are a bit warmer because they're in the sun. Too much white here, we gotta fill in this sky. Dark blue clouds blending into warmer light clouds. This is where the light's coming from. This is too overcast. I missed the sky, so let's add that back in. We're doing things backwards today. Now I gotta tie these colors into the foreground somehow. Blending in some cool snow into the warm snow. It's a subtle difference, but we're subtle here. These light clouds need a dark center, and these dark clouds need some light edges. Okay, what's next? We only need one, but thankfully they come in a pack of 100. Now watch this. Now watch this. There we go. Oh crap. I found this idea on a blog post. It's not the sort of thing I would come up with. Mine are gonna be a little different because I'm painting them blue. They're so cold, they turn blue. That's right. This is a little trick I already showed in the video, but now I'm using it to make ice. Just a little baking soda and super glue. Instant ice. I also painted this reindeer moss blue. I'm painting everything blue. Something's in the air. I think it's gonna snow. You might recognize this from the waterfall, but I bought it for snow. This goes on the ground, on the bush, on the tree. It's going everywhere. Maybe not everywhere. I'm being careful not to add too much. 3 trees all by themselves doesn't look very natural, and this is a natural diorama. So I'll add a ridgeline of pine, and think to myself, well, that looks mighty fine. And these little dots, I don't know what they are, but they're important for realism. And over here, we gotta replace that painted snow with snow effect. But then we gotta paint the snow effect so it matches the painted snow. Never leave a true white in your painting. I read that on Instagram. Wait, I'm done? Well, let's see it. And I've got to shout out my patrons on Patreon, both the ones that have stuck around and the newcomers, including Capped Splashclaw and James Billings. I'd also like to shout out Austin Bell. Thank you for coming along with me to winter. Will we get to spring and summer? I don't know. I'd like to do spring, summer. How hard can it be? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.